I'm going to talk about a pet peeve of mine, um, something that people who buy ebooks tend to do. Um, there's this thing that people like to do. They call themselves returning ebooks. Now, I've made a video about this before, and I really think Amazon needs to change this policy because it's not good for authors like myself. Now, right now, I've been out of work for a while, and the only way I make money is through the sales of my paperbacks and my ebooks. So every dollar counts. Every dollar that I get counts, and it's the only way I can eat and pay my bills. So what really saddens me to see is that people are so cheap that they will take a 99-cent ebook that I offer and read through it and then return it. I don't understand how people think this is, socially acceptable. I mean, it's 99 cents. And it really shows how cheap people can actually be to do something like this, to return a 99-cent ebook. Now, my issue with Amazon on this is, and customers themselves, is that there's a preview feature. If you want to, you can read the sample by using the preview feature. You don't have to buy the book and then return it. You can read the preview, read the synopsis. You get a good chunk. On some of my longer novels, you get 25%. On some of my novelettes, you get 25%. So you get a good sense of what the book is about and a consensus of what the story is going to be about. So what I'm finding is it's just this policy really and really dusty people, because it's really dusty in my opinion for someone to just return a 99-cent ebook. It just reeks of cheapness. It reeks of dustiness. And it says to people that, you're a miser. I mean, if you really want the book, you're going to buy the book. I mean, people spend more than 99 cents on an MP3. People spend more than 99 cents on some of these TV shows that they download. And they spend way more than that, on cable pay-per-views. So it shows some stinginess there, that you won't spend 99 cents on an ebook that may have information that may help you, or may have an entertaining story that may uplift you or change your thinking perspective, but you'll spend all this extra money on this other stuff. And I say it irks me because it's just not necessary to do something like that. Now, I need these ebook sales and I need these paperback sales. I really need them because right now, as I said before, I've been out of work for quite some time now. And right now, I'm just, the book sales are primarily how I make my income, and that and eBay auctions is pretty much how I make my income now. And I'm still looking for work, a 9 to 5 job to do in addition to this. But this is how I primarily make my money and pay my bills. And it really irks me to see people being so stingy that they go out and buy a 99-cent ebook and return it. But these same people will take, $400 and spend it on a PS4, or $200 on a pair of Air Jordan sneakers without thinking about it. But then these same people will get upset over a 99-cent ebook, and then the things that they get upset about are, people saying that the book is too short or something like that, when this information is right on the front page of the book that you're looking at. And on that front page, it tells you how long the book is going to be, how many words the book is going to be, how many pages it's going to be, and this is all up front. Now, some stories I do short, and some I do long. Some I do short because I'm dealing with a young adult teen audience, and I know that a lot of kids today don't have long attention spans. And some books I do long because I have I'm trying to that's just the way the story works. And other stories that they just run short, and that's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it. If the story ends at that point, I have to end it at that point. But again, this is something that is, again, another really a pet peeve of mine. I really wish Amazon would change this ebook policy about these returns, because it's taking money from authors like myself, and it's allowing people to really abuse the system, because A lot of times these people, they just come back and they say that they can stop people from abusing the Kindle system like this by buying and returning, but I really think it needs to end. No other retailer of ebooks, Smashwords, Barnes and Noble, the Apple Store, Google Play, none of them allow ebooks to be returned in any after you buy them, because they figure after you've read it, they have no idea of what if you've made copies of it, if you've uploaded it to a file sharing site, or if you've taken this information and just, you've already read it and used it. They have no idea of saying it. And even some other ebook retailers, they say once you read it past a certain point, you can't return it. But Amazon's the only one with this ebook policy. And again, I've spoken about this before in a previous video, that has this return policy. And I really think it needs to be stopped, because Amazon does not allow other retailers, um, um, other media to be, digital media to be returned. You can't return an MP3. The big six record companies will not allow that to happen. And you can't return a TV show or a movie that you download, because the big six corporate media will not allow this to happen. They say, look, you've already purchased it. We're not allowing a return. But only with small publishers like myself do they allow this to happen. And it really needs to stop, because, and the customers themselves, I don't mean to attack the customer, but the customers really, some of you out here have to stop abusing the system, because it's costing, guys like me, it costs us money. I mean, for us to give you that 99-cent ebook, we only get 35 cents on a royalty on it, and these books take months to write, and many more months to revise and rewrite, and that's a lot of time that we put into them, and all that time we can't get back. And when you take the money, that's taking money out of our pockets. And guys like myself who've been out of work, this is our primary source of income, and you're really preventing me from paying bills and taking care of business. So I'm really urging you to please stop returning ebooks, and I'm urging the executives at Amazon to really do something about this policy, because it's not an author-friendly policy, and it's really not helping authors like myself. I mean, it really prevents us from being effectively able to serve the customer. And I'm also urging customers to please, if you want to look at a book, just look at the synopsis. Look at the synopsis on the front page, look at the preview, all these features. You can find out what the story is about before you buy it. There is never a need to just buy a book and return it when you have the preview feature and you can read the sample chapters. You can also read sample chapters on my blog, www.seansjames.blogspot.com. I keep a whole set of sample chapters of all my books online, on the blog as well, and you can look at those chapters. And if you want to buy the book, you can buy the book. But there's just these returns. It's like with this Kindle, it's a lot of abuse of this return policy. And I really believe that Amazon needs to, again, overhaul this system and get in line with the other retailers and not allow this. Because if you don't allow it for music and TV shows, you really shouldn't allow it for books too, because authors have the same, intellectual property rights, and our intellectual property rights are being violated, as I see it, by these people who buy ebooks and then read them and then return them. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.